description. So it says Blue Water showing Ryushin's video. This is where it all starts, so to speak. Check out Cliff High every so often. He bang on the money. Not everyone's cup of tea, but he says it how it is. He got top-notch contacts, very intelligent man. The reason for fucked up weather, very hot, then shady. They're giving us just enough sun. They're protecting us from CMFs coming from sun. Sun got very close. Space Force Galactic Federation are positioning sun and moon back on right course. The moon follows the sun in a figure of 8. Well, it did. This is how the reptilians gave us short days. It will be from 12 hours light to 12 hours dark to like 19 hours light and 5 hours dark. So I'm going to kind of read that again. It says the Galactic Federation are positioning the sun and moon back on right course. Well, if they knocked it off course, then is it possible to put it back on course? I would say yes. The moon follows the sun in a figure of 8. Well, it did. This is how the reptilians gave us short days. It will be from 12 hours light to 12 hours dark to like 19 hours light and 5 hours dark. There will always be more light than dark in the new fifth dimensional new Earth. Well, doesn't that make sense that these reptilian things would want it dark as much as possible? Oh my God. A lot of people think I am joking when I say those who don't fit in here at the end will be carted off to a new prepped Earth. Not far, but a shitload of motherships will be here on standby for first couple of months. Every last bit of evil, every last dishonest soul, every last selfish, every last negative person will be removed and sent to New Earth. We can go there, but they can't come here. So in other words, they're going somewhere. And you know, if you really, really think about it in terms of a lot of new information that we've gotten, and you could say, well, I don't believe that, or you do believe that, but certainly I'm open to anything that makes sense. And removing them and they wake up on New Earth, well, you can think of a lot of different ways that could be done, especially if it's a complete duplicate of what we have now. How would they know, you know? So every last negative person will be removed and sent to New Earth. We can go there, but they can't come here. New Earth will also be used to detain the last of the criminals here. Petty criminals will have a chance to change on the New Earth. So, and that's not written here on the New Earth, but that's my interpretation of this. Petty criminals will have a chance to change on the New Earth. All these souls who remember everything and accept all on their own free will stay. So all of us, that's what I just said, as a matter of fact, that I'm ready for anything. So it just says all those souls who remember everything and accept all on their own free will stay. Well, I accept it. Do I remember it? No, I have no memory of it. I keep saying that. But my point is they can wipe your memory. And if this solar event happens, which absolutely needs to in the worst kind of way, if this thing happens, like I think it's got to, that may do the trick of wiping people's memory where they just, something happens and then they wake up. That's it. They don't notice that. It's not like a truck comes and picks them up and takes them somewhere. So, yeah. And the New Earth will be used to detain the last of the criminals here. The petty criminals will have a chance to change. And all those souls who remember everything and accept all on their own free will stay. The new fifth dimensional Earth is itching to go. I mean, bursting for green light. I feel for a few famous people who fake deaths because they're absolutely shitting themselves, worried about all their fans' reactions. Us 20% all understand the positions that they were in. At least they didn't want to sign their names in blood. Well, some did, but when it came to the child bit, child and baby rituals and dark sex magic and sodomizing, etc., these are all the ones who wouldn't have done it, but got too famous for elites just to take out just like that. So let me say this again. All of the ones that wouldn't accept the child sacrifice and the pedophilia and the rituals and the dark sex magic and sodomizing, etc. These are all the ones who wouldn't have any of it, wouldn't have none of it, but got to be famous for the elites just to be taking them out, you know. So you know how so many celebrities die? A lot of them wouldn't have any of it. And they just use them and then take them out. And if they agreed to be cloned, well then, they can invite other entities to go into the clones and make it look like nothing ever happened. Case in point, Brittany. So worldwide 3-day blackout, 10-day lockdown. Most of what I learned over the last 26 years or so, well, most of the basics anyway, will be unleashed on all the sheep in just 10 days. They should fill in all the gaps themselves. Everything will make sense to most, but they're still going to refuse to believe. The so-called world's most beloved and trusted were about to kill them all, and did kill millions behind the scenes. And I'm stopping here, this is me now, but when you think about it, and I think about this all the time, they killed my dad, and they killed my mom, and they killed my grandparents, and they killed yours too. So just think about that for a second, you know. So, yeah, they're not going to believe it. And think about the gay community finding out that these people they're supporting are the ones who created AIDS. I mean, they're not going to want to. They're going to shut that out. Anderson Cooper created AIDS? Nah, you're crazy. No, you're stupid. You're stupid, gullible, and dumb. And you're brainwashed. And you're making gay people look bad, by the way. So they just take them out. If they won't have any of it, they just take them out. The 3-day blackout, 10-day lockdown, and most of what Christian has learned over the last 26 years or so is going to be disseminated in just 10 days. They should fill in all the gaps themselves. People should be able to fill in all the gaps, you know, ourselves. Everything will make sense to most, but they will still refuse to believe that the so-called world's most loved and trusted were about to kill them all, and did kill millions behind the scenes, your parents, my parents. Just things like Kate and Jerry McCann sold Maddie to Podesta Brothers, and MSM was trying to fob them off with some German nonsense who they paid to be a scapegoat. This will cause the UK to erupt on its own. Now, I don't really understand why this would cause the UK to erupt on its own, because a lot of this stuff is out there. But I guess just the whole high-level people involved in this, sleazy, horrible event, and that it's all a setup. And of course, Kate McCann, there's already been a bunch of, I think it's the guy, Jerry, who had the kid, because she has the childbearing hips. Who has the childbearing hips? Oh, Jerry, Jerry, just like Jerry Hall, another inverted Hermie with a nub. They're all Hermes. They're all hermaphrodites. They're genetically engineered hermaphrodites, because these things, these reptilian things, that's what they want to go into. These entities that they're summoning to come and be a part of the earth. They have to prep these bodies. They call us skin sacks and everything. They have to prep these bodies. They have to keep breeding and breeding until they get something that these things will go into. If I get too technical, stop me. Anyway, they want to go into these Hermes. They think this is beautiful. They think this is a god right here, this Hermes thing with the nub. That shows you how low dimensional and low IQ they are. Anyway, this McCann thing, all of it, is going to cause the UK to erupt on its own. That Jerry, and then when you can add to all of this other stuff, that Kate and Jerry McCann sold the baby to Podesta Brothers, and MSM was trying to fob them off with some German nonsense who they paid to be a scapegoat. So that's horrifying enough. But then when they find out that Jerry was the one that gave birth and Kate was the one who donated, unless, of course, this is part of the Soros sperm gun, which must be ended at all costs. So that will cause, according to CH21, the UK to erupt on its own. Or their precious Queen Elizabeth tortures, rapes, and eats 2 kids a day, and has done for the last 500 years. That Boris and his 30 to 40 ministers were all full-blown reptilian, just like most MSM reporters or daytime TV hosts and late-night show host. Simon Cowell, that's what he wrote. Simon Cowell, C-O-W. No offense to cows, by the way. And every last person involved with him, all the talent shows, X Factors, The Voice, etc., all reptilian or been body snatched by reptilian. As soon as reptilians, greys, and 6 other fucked up created demonic entities were all took out or captured and executed by Galactic Alliance, they would have been executed on motherships just above us. Mother Trip would pick up negative aliens from Gitmo and a base under Greenland every other day for a good few months. Mothership would just come down and pick them up. So these walk-ins, if you remember, this is me now talking, so there's a lot more to this intel. But these walk-ins, I think, is what he's talking about, that every last person involved with him and all the talent shows, X Factors, The Voice, etc., all reptilian or been body snatched by reptilian. They're like walk-ins like Tom Cruise. So this is how I'm imagining it, or how I feel like it works somewhat like this, if not exactly like this, where these people are bred underground. But by the time you've been through their MK Ultra programming, you don't know what the hell you do. You don't even know what day it is, I don't think, or what year it is, because they're messing with you so much. They've cloned you. They've put you through this program, this torture program. People like Tippi Hedren and Kim Novak and Joan Crawford and all of these women that are hermaphrodites, actually, males, they are tortured from an early age to act to be exactly like a woman. And I would imagine they all have alters that are women, alters. And they stay in that altered state probably a lot of the time. So these things don't really know anything else. They don't really have a choice. It's like they have to do it. And so eventually they just fall into it full force, and then they become, monsters. Because what ends up happening is if they sign a contract where they give permission for these things to enter their bodies. And if you read Fritz Springmeier's book, they even have an empty space there for this entity to enter. So when they create the architecture of the altars, and they have Star Trek programming, it's a completely different breakup of the personality than sex kitten programming. It's like a house with a lot of different rooms, and each personality has a space, or each alter has a space they live in, and then they leave one space empty for these entities to come down into. And they also create jailer altars that will tell on the other altars if they are getting their memories back and stuff. So it's very intricate. So these things are considered gods, and usually they make them out of some kind of DNA that is already established, like, I don't know, like Drew Barrymore. She comes from the Barrymore line. And they're probably all shot up with the Soros, Rothschild, Rockefeller sperm guns. That's a whole nother subject. So they pick out these people and turn them into, from the very, very, very beginning, they just don't stumble into the studio. And if they do, they haven't got long to live. And if they sign over the cloning rights, which are going to be explained to them, they lie, okay? Then they'll have this, that Simon Cowell and every last person involved with him body snatched by Reptilian. As soon as Reptilians, Greys, and 6 other fucked up created demonic entities were all took out or captured and executed by Galactic Alliance. So they're all living and housed inside of these human bodies that were created for them. And these people I don't think know it when they sign this contract, that that's what they're signing, that they're going to die, and this thing, just like the Frill Lizard. So CH21 has been talking about Diana and Trump and JFK Jr. and Melania. It says, just a tip, but Barron looks nothing like Melania. Trump, Melania, JFK Jr. all have same motifs other than saving the world, so to speak. They all had family killed by the dark side. At the end of the day, the positive families who've been keeping the balance are all reincarnated into human form. They slipped in here decade by decade. They are part of the Galactic Alliance. They will all stay in human form because they all earned it. Only difference is us and them will all be age regressed. We'll all remember everything, like I said before. Only I started to remember stuff from a kid with a little help, obviously. The so-called most informed top truthers and so-called channelers always doubt me because I know more detail on how other planets and species live. I have lived with them all. The real deal is too far out for most humans. It do actually sound like I make stuff up. It's only what I see and get shown. Your own eyes and ears do not lie, especially from the most loyal, trusted source. A source who cannot interfere or step in. Earth Matrix was a program designed for souls to experience physical form. It's in the Earth's law book. It's forbidden. They can only give clues or steer you in the right direction. They can't just blatantly help you. You're not learning. If they told you too much, it would all be all them. It's in our benefit to remember. They just give you a push, give you dots to join where no one else sees dots. So he talks about other people, and I think you know their names, that steal his info and use it and say that it's their own. Jordan Maxwell always used to say to me, I would be used, and be careful. Always keep the shocking far out stuff to your chest. Most won't believe you anyway. I used to blow that old man away. He taught me proper words and language, synchronized words and code language. Great fella. Other than David Icke, he was the first one to believe me, really. Jordan said he knew another 4 people like me. I was the youngest. It's all going down within this 5-week summer holiday. 150%. They're prepping the UK sheep now for Diana's return. Diana all over UK papers and media. Linda, it's bloody coming any moment. We got the fake World War, nuke war, sun solar flare, what hits Earth like clockwork every 12 to 13,000 years. Boris and 30 to 40 ministers over some stupid party. They get away with worse than that every day of the year. This is all the actors, clones, doubles, all exiting. Everything is being put in place before your eyes, and the sheep worldwide just still can't see it. Yeah, I know. God, they are dumb. Jeez, they are dumb. I get mad every day at how stupid these people are. It seems willful. It really does. Anyway, yeah. Everything is being put in place before your eyes, and the sheep worldwide just still can't see it. Wow, that resonates. I have had over 100 Gmails from people I gave info to 15 years ago, all apologizing about all different stuff. I don't want apologies. I just want my brothers and sisters to see the real reality. Just finding out that all the planets are disks are all very close by gateways to vortex to all planets are open only to fifth dimensional beings. Us 20%, 150%, meaning that it's 150% going to happen for us 20%. Now, I want to read that again because I think it's really important, and I do believe this. Just finding out that all the planets are disks. They're all very close by gateways to vortexes to all the planets. So all the planets are open only to fifth dimensional beings. So the planets are disks and they're near vortexes where you can travel to these different places organically. Little new 3D Earth been prepped for those who don't like the ending, all those in denial, all the selfish, all those in competition. You'd be surprised how many won't shift with what they're all about to find out when the flash and the pulse hits and everyone remembers everything. Half of the sheep still won't believe it. They'll think it's just the government playing a trick on them again. They won't arrest anyone. Hopefully, when the world sees people like Diana and JFK Jr., etc., they'll all feel safe. Diana was the world's most loved woman, and the world's most amazing genius ever known in human history, backed by the world's most trusted Kennedys. Rob Kennedy Sr. is back. So many reincarnated to come back and finish plan. You had to have same people involved all the way. You couldn't have newcomers. Over 200,000 white hats been the same white hats from day one. White hats are a mixture of Space Force and Galactic Alliance. I am just about to jump on and see where everyone is on the info side of stuff. And he mentions, somebody with the initials of CW, supposed truther. The people that follow this person should be well on it by now, but he kept them all in a time warp, bit by bit, and same info just put out differently. He got his orders. You're about to find out who all the traitors are on BitChute, etc., etc., etc. The so-called uncensored sites. They all had little spies on them. You'll know when the shit is just about to happen, because I will do a live rundown chat from start to finish for all the sheep. I'm going to break down the last 6,000 years to this day, today. I will do it so a little kid will understand. Every crime, every issue, every topic, every subject, the full shebang. All the info I ever give out and more stuff. Never pumped out. Never ever. I am well safe now. I always was, really. I had a trader going back about 17 years ago. I told him about my bipolar, being honest. And I told him, I think you find that all the alien abductees and real channelers, psychics, etc., are all in the mental institutions. And when they all say they hear voices, they bloody do. Demons. Ted Bundy was from a bloodline family. 4 down on the list, the Bundys, and they are there. I mean, I don't know why I didn't even think about this. But you'll find a lot of the serial killers have these names. So, yeah, Ted Bundy was from a bloodline family. 4 down on the list equals the Bundys. Serial killers, rapists, etc., are interfered with from young by demons, evil spirits. They use this mind to control to create millions of killer psychopaths worldwide. This is cover for all the killings committed by the Satanists, and it covers kids what go missing. It's so fucked up how serious criminals are created. It could be anyone they choose who they want. All killers could be caught in hours or days. They let loose purposely to kill. They take their time to catch them. This keeps the public shit scared. And I want to stop here because I'm watching all this stuff on 48 Hours. And hi, I'm Lester Dolt. But they emphasize these crimes. And you ask, why are these other disappearances? Probably because they focus on the disappearances that their minions do, because they pump it up. You can go look up John Wayne Gacy, for instance. And how many specials have been done about Charles Manson or John Wayne Gacy? They make money off this stuff. So it says they're let loose purposely to kill. And they take their time to catch them. And they also won't give them the death penalty. And they say life in prison, but it doesn't mean life in prison. Some of these people get out in 10, 15 years after they've slaughtered their whole family. And, they're literally serial killers that they're turning loose. And that's what the legal system is there for, to make sure this thing is constantly going. So, yeah. They take their time to catch them. This keeps the public shit scared when there's millions of psychos gallivanting around planet Earth. These can kill and rape, etc., a lot of people and kids. And this is why they give you all the serial killer programs. Every last crime channel is created to throw you off the real criminals. Every last detective, police officer ever in a crime program is paid off or threatened, usually paid or blackmailed. It's all about to get proper noisy. The sheep will get the biggest kick up the arse like they never thought they could have. Good. I hope they televise that. That's what I want to see. More screaming at the sky, no doubt. It's the final moments of all the playing out. Diana and another over 140 famous people are all shitting their pants on humanity's reaction. But they're all getting themselves ready. You're going to be blown away on how quick troops and military flood the streets worldwide, because they're already there just waiting for green light. Don't listen to anything to do with finance, gold, QF's rainbow currency. It's all good and happening. Transfer of wealth, but not how anyone is telling on the internet, especially BitChute. This is all irrelevant until all the truths, exposures, all the mental breakdown stuff is all out of the way. No one will even be thinking about finance for a while. They will be stuck in a warp, committing suicide, breaking down, etc., etc. The world's most educated and religious ones will all be having mental breakdowns. So that's where I'm going to stop, because I'll do the rest my next video. I do want to go out on NPC Nightly News with Lester Dolt, because I really want to hammer that into people's heads so that they never see this guy again, that they don't think, hi, I'm Lester Dolt. So on that note, I'm going to leave you to enjoy your Tuesday. This is Deplorable McAllister and my dog Truman, and we are signing off.